All right. Ready? Let's go. So welcome to another walk and talk. We're in Kimberley, Ontario at the farm. It's an apple farm. Make sure that it's running. It's tilted a little bit. All right, so have any of you ever noticed when, your shitstorm happened with all the symptoms? 9 times out of 8, it happened when everything was fine, right? When you finally got out of that toxic relationship or toxic work environment or whatever it is that you were dealing with, right? Life's been pretty good, pretty quiet, pretty calm. It's finally calm. 2 months later, all of a sudden, all these symptoms come up. And then, somebody asks you, have you been dealing with anything stressful? It's like, well, no, not for a while. I was for many years. I've been dealing with a lot of symptoms for many years, but everything's actually been good. And that's the problem with that. Because you'll dismiss the idea that it's mind body, because things improved, symptoms got worse. That doesn't line up, does it? I always got to keep an eye out, make sure there's no... we don't have bears here much. Well, technically we do. So I like to scan also for falling trees. Like that tree has just recently fallen. So you got to keep an eye out. I remember this tree putting a beer in one of the holes, a beer holder in the wintertime. I think I have a video about that. Anyway, so people will dismiss the idea that, hey, listen, this is my body. And what happened was, right, in a way it's kind of like the eye of the storm, but the calm before the storm. And that's a real thing, because the brain decided to make the call and go, hey, listen, the coast is clear. I don't see a bear. Right? So I'm going to take this opportunity to get you to process some shit. So I'm going to send you some alarms so you're aware of them. That's all it is. It's the system working with you to quickly process some of the allostatic charge, some of that built up energy from the shadow for you to process. So we look at it as, oh, illness. Oh no, I don't like this. I need to stop this. So we get in the way. We get in the way of the natural process of balancing out so that we can handle more of life curveballs. It's a maintenance thing, right? But we misunderstand it, and understandably so, because you deal with things that don't feel good. So when you're dealing with something that doesn't feel good, what do you do? You want less of it. You want to try to stop it. You want to correct it. You want to, right, try to figure it out and analyze it. And when you do that, you just get more of a survival state. You're reaffirming that, listen, the alarms that you sent were correct, because now I'm dealing with a real liger within me, and it's the symptoms. So you never get a chance to do what it's designed to do, which is unfortunate, but I understand. So it takes the time to go, okay, no, we can't process the energy now. We're surviving. We're being chased by this bear, right? So our priority is to keep this guy alive and keep running, making sure that all the systems are going to be able to push him to survive. And we don't care about digestion. We don't care too much about all the other systems in the body because it's not a priority. We don't care about, digesting that burrito right now. Plus, when you're in such a survival state, the systems of the body, right? It's literally your gut is going through. It's what it's doing. It's expressing what you're going through. So usually when people are in a state of fight or flight, or they're freaking out or worry, well, it expresses itself in the gut, right? You have an explosion in your life, explosion in the gut, in the toilet, in the sensitivities, in the, pelvic floor. So it translates through the symptoms that we deal with. Dolly, let's go. Let's go, come on. Thing is, I'm not just looking for bears, I'm looking for, big deer, porcupines, skunks, because that just complicates shit. And this guy is always finding shit. She'll notice it and bark, chase a little bit, and then she'll retreat. It's not always. She's been hit by a skunk once, him also once. Good times. So anyway, this kind of translates to how people bring up how animals, when they've been dealing with a survival state, what they'll do when they're in the clear, when that liger is gone, right after that whole situation's become to resolve and the animal is safe, like the deer, right? It will take that charge that's been built up, that survival charge, and it'll express it through the body and release it, right? Naturally. The thing with us, we do kind of the same thing, right? It looks for an appropriate time where you're safe, and it goes, okay, we need to release now. I'm giving it to you to release it. Same thing with the animal. It gives it to the animal to release it. And it just happens naturally. So we're in communication. We have a communication loop with the brain, the alarm system, to release this charge. And it does it by sending it to you, and you just naturally do it. By allowing, feeling, sitting in the body, right? Sitting in the fire, letting it dissolve. And then you move on. But sometimes you get people in the field, right? And I know they mean well, but I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with it because what they're doing is they're trying to force a release because they see while the deer is shaking, which brings it back down to rest and digest. So we need to do that. We need to find that energy, or we need to fake that energy and force it out. So we got to shake. So they'll do the shaking, right? And they're trying to force out whatever is built up. And for me, right here and there, you might feel some relief, but it was never supposed to be like that. It was always supposed to be, it sends it to you. You take that opportunity to work with it, and you just naturally feel what's there, and it releases by itself without you having to force it. Because if you try to force it, that's like putting gasoline on the fire, right? You get more activated, and it might be above your capacity, which is relooping the trauma loop. Well, I should say, it's starting that trauma loop again, and you get a flooding, right? Nobody wants a flooding. That's not good for nobody. And you don't really move forward because then you have to catch up from the setback of that crash. So you're actually going backwards, not moving forwards. You're not really learning anything from it. You're not really exposing yourself or neutralizing because you're overwhelmed. You're actually surviving again. So this is why I say, always work what the brain sends you on a platter, on a plate. There's no need to force anything out. There's no need to dig, right? We don't have to dig. It does that for you. And you know what? If it's not ready to come out, it's not ready to come out. It will know when it's ready to come out. When you start being an allower, right? When you start allowing, you take some of that capacity, it starts to open up. Your allostatic load starts to shrink, starts to empty. Then the system knows, okay, he's got the capacity to do some more of this allowing and to process more of the shadow. So it sends you more of it. And the thing is, even if you don't think you're ready, you don't have to do it all. You can just push it aside, and just allow what you can. Right? Put it aside on the plate. Push the asparagus to the side. And focus on the steak. Right? Or the easy hanging fruit. Good enough. And then eventually, you come to the asparagus when you're ready. When you think you're ready. So you have a choice to allow when you think you're ready. And even though, usually when you allow, you'll never really think you're ready because it's always intense. So you can do small amounts, right? The more you do this, the more you're going to find the tolerable hell that you can work with. So you'll just keep working at that. You'll create your own training zone, right? So if any of you have noticed that the perfect storm came up, please share in the comments that it came up when everything was quiet, right? Life was pretty good. The thing is, the system knows, even when life isn't pretty good, it tries to get you to process in between survival episodes. Right? He'll be like, I know there's a liger around here. I don't see him right now, but I know he's over there. I see him behind the fence. We're going to take the opportunity right now to quickly process. Right? Just a quick one. Just a couple of symptoms, couple of alarms. Oh, it's tangled, eh? Dolly, come here. Okay, let's go. So it tries to do it because it knows that you're in a danger mode. The allostatic loads are getting too full. You're up to capacity. You need to create some space, some room. So it tries doing it. Right? If it sees, okay, there's ligers there, yes, we know that. They're behind that fence. We can process a couple of things. It prefers, right, if it sees no ligers anywhere and goes, all right, I think we're safe. Let's do some maintenance quick. I'll send you a bunch of shit. And then we get overwhelmed, we freak out, and then we get into a cycle that feeds the loop. That's not good. We've misunderstood it. It's not our fault. We've also been told bad information. Right? Not our fault either. But now you're learning. Now you see. And now you're going to do what you're always designed to do, is process that energy. You're not going to like it. It's going to suck. It's not going to go away right away. It takes time. But you'll get there. So just start. And don't be afraid to fuck it up. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's how you learn. Trust me. I made the most mistakes. I was the worst at it and I fully recovered. So can you.